Get your tools, get your toolbox, we're gonna have to rebuild democracy from the ground up with patriots, with believers in truth, justice, and the American way. Okay. Good morning, Harry Litman, former federal prosecutor. How are you?
You know, it's Black Friday, Stephanie. I
Oh,
don't know what exactly I can do about it.
yeah.
But yes, I guess the you have to be the soil has to be
Tilled.
plumbed with the blood of patriots. Is that what it
Yeah,
is? Yeah.
something,
All
Harry.
right. Well, I'm opening my veins.
Ah.
How are you?
Ay, ay, ay. Well, it really. Listen, I know it's hard to predict anything in the Trump presidency, but obviously Lamar Alexander, this whole thing, it's what people feared, right, about it being rigged. That Susan Collins, is allowed to look like she has a spine for a second because they know they don't have the votes. What are the chances, Harry, that this is going to be 50-50? As you said, Collins yes, Alexander no. All eyes turn to Murkowski. So
Yeah.
then what happens? There's obviously dispute on whether Roberts
There
steps in.
is.
Yeah.
I have some views on this, but they may come out. Yeah, but let me just say, obviously, Alexander says he didn't coordinate, but surely they did. Collins, went to McConnell and was permitted to say she wanted witnesses. Romney was probably going to go that way, all the time. So in that sense, I think it is coordinated. All right. So, but what happens now? I'm on record as that look. John Roberts is the presiding officer. That's the constitutional term. It's the Senate rules term. It's the precise term for the vice president in any other setting, say a confirmation. We knew when the Kavanaugh confirmation was tempestuous that if it went to 50-50, Pence would break the tie. There's no reason that Roberts would have a different role, but it's a little trickier, I think, than it might have been. I did write a piece.
Yeah.
Larry Tribe and Walter Dellinger seconded, and personally, I just can't see either the logic or the basis for saying, oh, you just say it doesn't pass. But the immediate McConnell, a master of parliamentarian strategy, has the
I
vote's
would
going
use
to
a
be
different
should we
term.
have witnesses? And that's a different vote from should we subpoena Bolton. If it should we subpoena Bolton and it gets to 50-50, that's a kind of a legal question about relevance.
Yeah.
That's served up to Roberts. The sort of raw political question of should we have witnesses, it gets to 50-50. Man, Roberts may well say this isn't my, what the hell do I know? On the other hand, that's what it means to preside, and his whole job in the law is not answering questions if they're not properly before him, but having to answer them if they are. And it could all come down to that. And it's really striking to me. People do not know. Some are assuming most are assuming four, some are assuming three, and that could all play out. Although my best guess is, what the hell do I know? But my
Yeah.
best guess is Murkowski. This has all been wired, and Murkowski winds up, saying no and makes it 51 anyway.
Can you believe our democracy hangs in the balance of right this like handful
It,
of
you know,
people? It's just, and by the
Except
way,
it doesn't.
I would use a
Look,
different
there
term for Mitch
people are
McConnell.
right now. I'm all riled up, but at least I'm not like talking from Uzbekistan as I was last time I called in. But it's true that all eyes are on Murkowski, and these guys are in the heat. But we're just talking about the most simple question of witnesses. Blame the 47 who from the start weren't even going to listen. We're going to close their ears and made acquittal a foregone conclusion. Getting the info from Bolton, that would be good. It would make it harder for them and more ashamed. But it's gonna come out anyway.
Well, you made that.
So in that sense,
Yeah.
democracy doesn't hinge
Yeah.
on it. We've already lost.
Yeah, Harry, you made a good point on that on Twitter. You said more generally, Bolton's account is coming out and soon. The political
Yeah.
consideration for Collins et al. Is whether they will look like stooges when it does. Well, very clearly they already do. Why? I guess it's just a question everybody keeps asking. Why are they willing to risk what they know is certain humiliation by Donald Trump the more and more comes out?
Right. Okay, so let's first, make the total assumption that they don't give a frig about anything but short-term political considerations. And then why would it, make sense? So of course they're afraid of them. They think there's like a collective action problem or something. Any individual senator who goes against Trump, he thinks will get clobbered in a primary challenge or whatever. Of course, if like half a dozen or God forbid 18 stood up, hit the bully would have to go away. But here's what's even more galling. I do Fox News sometimes. I
Hmm.
think like I
Yeah.
do MSNBC, and I'm preaching the choir. I do Fox News. Maybe three people say, "He makes some sense." I did it last night with two red blood politicos,
Yeah. I was just going to
and
ask you about
man,
this. Yep. Yep. Go ahead.
and the scenario was not okay, anything like Lamar Alexander, which is the only thing anyone with intellectual honesty could say. Yeah, it's been proven like 8 times over, but I don't think it's impeachable. It's all a sham. Democrats from the start, 2016. It's going to become, and in short order, a complete recognizable narrative where Trump is, completely innocent, and he's going to be like, Joan of Arc, and the and somebody else all rolled into one. 100% innocent, totally trumped up, and it will be. You could try to fight against that wave, but that's just what's
It is.
gonna be.
Yeah, it is hard to, I think, overestimate the poison that Fox has put into the
Hmm.
American bloodstream,
Hmm.
Harry, because you're right. It is, they live in a completely fictional world. There is not one set of
Yeah.
facts, like when my dad's running mate, Goldwater,
Hmm.
was able to say, Nixon, it is time for you to go. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where we are. So let's talk about Dershowitz, because I mean,
I will, and I'll go to. Oh, I'm going to debate him Tuesday. Everybody tune in. I'll tell you about it in a second. But
Whoa.
oh
this
no,
is
don't
what
just
makes
drop
it
that bomb. Where are you going to
just
debate
a
Dershowitz?
constitutional abomination. It's just nauseating. Okay, now I'll slap myself and try to like talk
Yeah,
normal.
slap yourself.
Um,
Where are you
so
going to debate?
Dershowitz,
Where are you going to debate
it's
him Tuesday?
it's a station, a kind of it's based in Turkey. They they
Oh.
they style
Turkey?
themselves as you heard it right. It's TRT World, but I've done it
Turkey?
before
Huh.
with him, and he shows up.
Wow.
So assuming he shows up, it's a real
Well, he
debate.
clearly.
It'll be Tuesday morning at 7 a.m.
Wow,
Huh.
he'll show up at the opening of an envelope. But anyway, more
Yeah,
importantly, you said
yeah.
now that Dershowitz has fallen from favor with his self-inflicted wound, Republican senators hopefully will shy away from embracing his previous rationale, which, while less incendiary, is equally a prescription for tyranny. Um,
Oh, that sounds good. Did I write that?
yes. And you quoted
Okay.
George Conway, who said it's just not true that good
Yeah.
motives, when mixed in with bad ones, compel acquittal. If a politician takes a bribe to do what he thinks would have been best for the public anyway, he still goes to jail. I mean, it's so absurd what he was arguing, right?
100% completely, totally. This is not like, oh, something that requires nuanced legal argument. This is what any first year law student would know. And it's been so strange the last several years. He has been generally out there trying to sell arguments that no first year law student would make. He stood in the well of
Yeah,
the Senate, read this long white paper that I doubt he wrote, that I mean is doggerel.
yeah.
And this is the late. It's so straightforward, and anything in the law. Of course, part of you, when you shoot Trump dead, and part of you thinks the country might be better, but God bless you, you're going to jail. And it is not a real debate. There's no one. Look around. No one of any stripe who's like saying, "Well, maybe Dershowitz has a point." They're like, "When did he become a lunatic?"
Yeah, well, yeah, and as you say, the argument that if he believes it will help him get elected, and that's in the public interest, he can do anything. You said, I loved your line you wrote in the Washington Post. Imagine a president who decides to play golf all day every day, who insists on turning over classified information to an
Yeah.
adversary such as Russia. Yes, I can imagine that. Weirdly, Harry, it's weird. I can.
Yeah, I mean, I like that golf thing because it's so clearly non-criminal, but it's so clearly an abuse of power. He just closes, says, "I won't appoint anybody. I won't do anything." What is the country supposed to do? That's not tenable, right? That's an abuse of power. There's one remedy, and in this in fire break glass remedy they gave us for exactly this. I mean, that I think is a better example in some ways than shooting somebody on Fifth Avenue or than telling a lie about a sexual relationship. What this is, it's for offenses against the the citizenship, against the political order. That's why you need impeachment. If you offend the social order generally, you need a criminal code, which of course you can't have with the president under DOJ policy. But
Yeah.
it's not only tenable, but the most tenable that people who just abuse their power, or presidents who do, that's why we have impeachment more than anything.
Harry, speaking of sexual affairs, so this E.G. and Carroll DNA on the dress, as I said earlier, hey, you got your Clinton impeachment in my Trump impeachment.
Oh, boy.
But what Clinton had to give DNA. How does he get out of having to give DNA? Do you think it's the same thing? Just delay this in the courts forever, or what?
Okay, so boy, that's some old DNA, although DNA survives that long, but man, she's been keeping it if it's true. How does he get out of it? He gets out of it now because he's not subject to criminal process. Criminal defendants can be ordered to give a blood sample. That's not considered testimony. And so if he's charged with that crime, he'll be ordered to do it. That can't happen while he's president. It's hard to see it happening after because, it's 20 some years ago. What happened with Clinton is there was this, independent counsel separate from the department that was able to charge him with a current crime of perjury.
So
and,
when he's out of office,
the blue dress mattered.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm sorry. So you're basically, because I'm sorry, we're running short on time. So you're saying when he's out of office, he presumably might have to give DNA?
I don't see it because it's been so long. But if he's a criminal defendant, he would have to. I don't see it happening in this case.
Okay. Can I just say, Harry, the only thing that could possibly make me gayer is not just talking about Donald Trump's DNA, but his really old DNA. Okay, so I'm officially as gay as I possibly can ever be. Okay, you wrote another piece on Trump's mixed motive defense, which is also new. That's sort of like legal improv. Like, yes, I robbed the bank because I wanted money, but I was going to feed the poor. So
right.
It was a mixed motive.
What more need I say? You're out of time. It's bullshit, right?
All right, Harry. Can't say that. All right. Harry helpfully lost us our FCC license. Thank you, Harry.
All right. Good talking to you.
No. I was just saying don't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
No. George Carlin. We know that. We're allowed to say
right. That. No, we're not allowed to say that. That is the list of 7 words you cannot say. All right. Wow.
Oh, right.
All right. I'm awake now. Also, quickly, you tweeted, hadn't realized the day after the U.S. Attorney's Office reversal of position on Mike Flynn's sentencing, Bill Barr named a new U.S. attorney there. Also has possible implications for Andy McCabe, one more very tangled web. I mean, suddenly Mike Flynn shouldn't get a prison sentence. I mean, good God, how much more can our justice system be debased, right?
I mean, the biggest thing about that is the reversal and then the reversal of the reversal. That's what really says what the heck is going on. I can say heck.
Yes, you can say that.
I mean, that's a crazy maneuver. And, they took... I was a U.S. attorney, right? If you get the phone call that you're not U.S. attorney tomorrow, you know that Maine Justice is, putting the boot on the neck. So, and she's also the one who was involved in the McCabe case where the grand jury wouldn't go forward. Yeah, Black Friday. I end where I started.
Yep, love the smell of fascism in the morning. All right, Harry, you're officially booked on Happy Hour with you and your potty mouth. Because
okay, very good.
Yeah, that one.
And
there's
maybe February 13th. Can I come see you personally? And I promise not to swear.
Yes, I'm writing it down.
Love that.
All right. No, you can swear. The point is swearing of the happy hour.
On the happy hour.
Yes.
Okay, I'm actually a very clean. I'm a straight arrow prosecutor.
Yes.
I thought.
Yeah, you know what that is. You know what that is, Harry? That's bull. That you're a straight arrow prosecutor. All right, love you. Bye.
Thanks.
Tell it to Adam Schiff. Bye bye.
Bye bye.